from Commonwealth. What's going on, guys?
Not much.
Not much, man. How you doing?
Happy to have you here on the show. Sitting and getting a couple beers. Talk about some stuff. Let's talk about the band. You guys just came from practice.
Yeah, we just got done practice. Lansdale Music Factory, and
Working on new material.
got
Nice.
got a couple shows coming up. So
And you guys just put out the EP.
Yeah, October. What was that date?
14th or something?
I think so.
What's it called again?
It's 4th. Music for People.
Music for People.
Yes, the EP.
You guys were previously doing Pillars of Villainy. Eric still doing POV. Where did Commonwealth come from? I mean, because everybody's seen you guys playing like fucking super heavy music around Lansdale, and Commonwealth is a departure from that. So talk a little bit about that, like how the band kind of took shape and got to where we're at now.
Well, basically, like we all listen to different kinds of music. So I had a bunch of songs that I'd written laying around, and my best friend Bobby from high school and I had always been playing music with each other for a long time, but never did anything like concrete as band. So we were kind of jamming around these songs, and we thought it'd be really cool to try and play them and have fun with them. You know, we got Nick on board and Mother Frank Rillo, great guy. Now we're all friends playing music, and yeah, it's kind of tough. Wow.
What does that mean? What is tough?
Tough is for Nick and I was about to say, coming from playing like super extreme types of metal and what have you. It's like sometimes we gotta learn how to tone it back a little bit.
Okay.
Because it's not as intense. It's more dynamic musically because it's like indie rock.
Yeah, and previously, like, before Pillars, like me and Eric had played in like other heavy bands, and like this is our first project. Well, my first project. I can only speak for
It's
myself.
mine as
well. You
yeah,
did
it's
foul
mainly-
language and all that.
I filled in bass in Bobby and Frank's band with their friend Tom from high school. It's Foul Language, like an acoustic rock band.
Okay.
So that was about it for me, other than metal. Or no, I played in a wedding band before.
Don't forget the wedding.
That
band.
was fun.
So Commonwealth, I mean, what do you see on the horizon for the band? I mean, do you map it out with short-term goals? Do you have an ultimate long-term goal? I mean, what do you, obviously, like you put the EP out,
Right.
You're doing some shows. What's the next step with the band?
Right now, it's just going to be playing out as much as we can while we're working on new material. We got to get merch together as soon as possible, get that going. I think we'd like to play it as far as we can and get out of state, tour a little bit.
I was going to say, planning on hitting the road a little bit in 2014?
It'd be nice.
Yeah,
definitely would like to try and pull like a week tour off first.
Okay.
See how it goes. Tough part's getting a van, but I think we just
Okay, periodically we're going to do a little pause sesh. We're actually hanging out here in the back of a bar, and people are coming in and out. So let's get back to what we were talking about here with Commonwealth, Eric and Nick from Commonwealth. Who are the other two dudes again?
We got Frank and Frank Carrillo and Bobby Waterman, bass player and our guitar player singer.
Nice. Friends of yours.
yeah. I knew him in high
Right.
school. We're all like best buds and played music like here and there with them, but never actually was in a band.
So what year did you dudes actually graduate? Like, I'm an old dude. I graduated in the 90s.
2008.
Same. 2008.
So what was going on? I mean, like, when I think about the evolution of the scene and 2008, what were you guys getting stoked on in, like, I don't know, junior high, up in high school? I mean, were you guys always into, did you have diverse tastes, being that you guys are good musicians, or were you, like, leaning one way? Were you, like, super metal, or speak to me on that.
Well,
Eric, let's talk.
all right.
Hey, Eric.
Yeah, like I wasn't really I wasn't much of a scene. I just kind of listened to a lot of like thrash and death metal, and there were some bands around here I liked, but I wasn't familiar with the Lansdale scene too much till Pillars got going around here. So I went to Acton, and
But when I say the scene, I
Yeah.
just mean like that, like the
like what I was
scene
into.
in general.
what was going on at Acton was a lot of like emo bands and some like random hardcore bands from like not in the area.
Shout out to Mike Prout.
Yeah, the Quips. They were going on.
Were you just standing your ground and you're like, fuck this, I'm metal, I'm gonna do...
I mean, I listen to a lot of things, man. Like, I was really into The Cure and Alice in Chains and all kinds of metal, and pop music here and there. Just, like, pretty diverse. I like
so
some
Alice in
jazz.
Chains was actually putting out that album with William...
Law.
Yes,
Yeah.
so that was coming out when you were in high school.
I think so.
I think that first one came out when you were in high school,
my senior
didn't it?
year, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. If it came out in 2008, which I think did.
This one has Check My Brain on it.
The
It's
black and
pretty
blue
bad.
one.
Black and Suede Blue.
Black
yeah.
and blue, yeah.
I was pretty hyped about that. I bought it at like 3 in the morning at like Walmart.
They're definitely one of the few bands I think everybody was kind of like, this band can't come back. Like Lansdale is the voice of the band, blah blah blah, whatever, dude. And like if you actually saw that band and you see like,
I thought they were awesome.
you hear Jerry Cantrell's vocals, you're like, oh shit, like Cantrell's vocals were just as big a part of it, like as Staley.
I got to see the Electric Factory on that first tour. When
Yeah.
they all got back together. Before that album even came out, the one with him singing on it, they were just doing all the old material.
Yeah.
And it was an awesome show. I was there with my brother and all his friends, and I didn't have a phone at the time, so I didn't get the memo they left to catch the train home. And we ended up having to take 2 cabs back from Philly. It was
Screwed.
Like, it was so much money.
I was gonna say it's like $100-something.
Yeah,
Isn't
it was crazy, man. But I didn't care. It was awesome.
Well,
I didn't have
Duval,
to pay for it.
good job. I mean, they sound good. They sound really good.
It sounded great. They did like 6 acoustic songs in the middle of the set.
So you were getting down on that. You're
Yeah.
getting stoked on that.
Definitely.
I mean, when did you start playing guitar? Like, when did you start playing drums? I mean, how young were you guys?
I was 12, turning 13, and you were 10, right?
I was 9.
Do you have musical family members or musical parents? I mean, is that who turned you on to doing it?
My dad played trumpet and my uncle played drums, and I always kind of like just loved the drums. So
What were you like? What are your first memories when you're like a little kid and hearing drums and seeing music? Like, what's the first stuff that you're like hearing? Like, oh, I like this, or getting into?
it's kind of weird. The first band that like really got me into wanting to play drums.
Is this gonna be Blink-182?
No, it's not.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
You're going to love this answer, though. I know it is.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. It's Fleetwood Mac, actually.
Oh my God!
No lie.
Nick Fleetwood,
Yeah, amazing drummer.
6'6",
Amazing drummer. I'm not gonna lie.
the chain.
Yeah, dude.
Toss.
Best stuff. It's the best. Yeah, Fleetwood Mac was my I want to play drums type thing. For me.
Totally blown away by that answer. Didn't see that one coming. Okay. So, what are you getting down on, like rumors and that type shit?
Actually,
or are you going back to Peter Green?
It was a live album had just came out. I forget.
Oh my God! What are you talking about? Like the chain when they like?
Yeah, when
oh,
they
man.
re-released, they had like the white cover and all that.
This is when they had like the orchestra with them, or like the
Yes,
the
I
college
believe.
band.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
yeah. They did like a PBS
Tough.
special, and I taped it on VHS, and I remember watching that over and over and
So
over.
what do you
again.
go get drums after that? You're like, Mom, Dad, I want to play.
Started off with a practice pad, and then my uncle actually gave me a snare drum from his old kit. And
Were either of you guys involved with school band at all?
I was actually in honors band.
Really?
Yes.
Where'd you go to school at?
North Penn.
Oh, you are
Yeah,
at North Penn, dude. That's
yeah.
what's up.
Yeah. So
Sorry,
With
guys.
acting.
Sorry,
Yeah.
everyone.
So, what like drew you into heavy music?
well, I started off, with the whole.
I'm curious because like you guys are a little bit younger than me, so that's what I want to know. Like, what was getting you guys stoked? Like coming up, I hate to keep using that word. It's probably gonna sound horrible
Yeah.
later. Like, yo, stoked, whatever. But like what was cool, what was heavy, and what was cool right there, like 05, 06, 07. I mean, I know what I think was cool and heavy, but what did you guys think was cool and heavy?
Nick was way more into like what was going on in that time. I was still listening to a lot of older stuff. Like all your traditional heavier metal. Like I was really into like the Big Four and thrash and stuff like
Oh,
Megadeth.
wow, hell yeah.
Fucking love Megadeth, and Testament was really
Lucretia.
cool.
I was listening to some Megadeth today, dude.
Yeah, dude. Marty Friedman was like a huge influence on like me trying to learn guitar.
I always love the
Obviously.
Gar Samuelson quote, "You're not great unless you do heroin." But what what were you into, like, heavy wise? What was pulling you in the early days? Wow,
Well, yeah.
was it Jordison?
Well, yeah, it was like I was a pop punk kid in middle school, and
Were you
then
really?
I got actually
What pulled you in, like the Blink thing?
Blink-182, Travis
Really?
Barker, no doubt, my favorite drummer. I'll say it.
Wow, really?
Oh yeah, definitely.
He is the drummer, isn't that the album that he released? Something called like The Drummer.
Give the Drummer Some.
Give the Drummer Some.
Can I Get Drummer Get Some? I think that's a single off of it. But yeah, Give the Drummer Some.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, I was into that, and then I actually got kicked out of school.
Wow.
And found myself in an alternative school, and this kid, was talking to me. Oh, you're a drummer. Oh, have you ever heard of Slipknot?
I was gonna say this is where the knot comes in, right?
And I'm like, hey, yeah, dude, no, that's just terrible. Like, why? He's like, no, listen to this, and he gave me the CD.
I want to know what CD.
It was Slipknot, the self-titled Sick.
Wow,
Yep.
the first one.
First one. And
I'm surprised because not that I'm like a big Slipknot aficionado, which I'm not, but I have seen them a few times.
Yeah.
Again, not by choice. No disrespect to Slipknot. I know that a lot of people really like Slipknot.
I saw
But
Joey play with a broken leg. He was killing
Aren't
it.
more people into the first album as opposed to the second album, the Iowa album, or isn't the Iowa album a little bit
I
heavier?
prefer the Iowa.
I was gonna say, but so he's giving you the first
He's
album.
giving me the first one.
This is like 6 years later. Like, the first one came out in '99, so I'm
Yeah,
assuming this
yeah.
is like 05, 06 for you.
Yeah, let's say 03, 04.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And don't quote me on that, but I'm around that time, and yeah, I heard that one song, "Wait and Bleed," that the signal off that the radio
yeah.
play, and it was just like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever, and like it blew my mind. And then from there on, I got after I was done with the alternative school, I actually got put back into North Penn, and I met up with old friends of mine from like elementary school, and realized he was into metal, and he burned me a bunch of metal CDs, Pantera, Slipknot, Machine Head, all that kind of stuff.
Head.
Yeah, remember that? Like, and
I was
I
never
dig
into
that,
Machine Head, but
Me
I mean,
neither,
I
actually.
will give respect to Robin Flynn. I mean, they've been holding it down for almost fucking 20 years.
Yeah, they're
I
doing
couldn't
it.
tell you one of their goddamn songs, but I know one of their songs on the Demon Knight soundtrack.
I did.
I think they were like headlining that show.
I did
I
not.
might be wrong with that.
I don't recall, but yeah, that's.
So the Knot brought you in, and then what do you form your first band after that?
Well, no, actually, it was not, and then Lamb of God came out and all that kind of stuff, and then my
Dude, Lamb of
first-
God was always out, man.
Well, yeah, they were.
I mean,
that was,
Burn the Priest.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear about
99.
them until I guess Palaces burned, and then I got that, and then I started my first band, bass. Like, I thought that was the greatest thing, and I wanted to do that, so that's
The
when I
Adler
started.
Brothers, dude.
Oh yeah,
Sick.
dude.
I think Ashes the Wake was like what got me into more modern metal. That was one of the bands, and The Life was also one of the bands.
Yeah, there's
And
two.
I'm trying to think of some of the bands that really, when I heard it, I was like, oh shit, you
Yeah.
can be totally heavy. And
I'll tell you a story. So the first time I ever saw that band was at the Troc on the Metalinium tour with Candiria, who I was going to see, 6 Feet Under, God Forbid, and I think there was one other band that was playing. And this friend of mine that I was actually at Monco with, and she was the loud rock director at WRFM. She had very good connections. We get down there, I miss God Forbid, and this band comes on, and it's Lamb of God. They're like, what the fuck's up? We were Burn the Priest, fucking playing at the Stalag 13 in West Philadelphia, last time we were here. And, dude, they fucking blew it away. That fucking killed it. And later that night, I actually got to go fucking chill out with them and God Forbid
that's so
on the
rad,
fucking bus.
dude.
And we just fucking sat and listened to Nelly, the first Nelly album,
Wow,
and
man.
the first Ludacris album. Just chill with them for an hour, got down.
Yeah.
It was fucking awesome,
That
man.
is-
Randy's just chasing this girl, just up and down the aisle. This bus, come here. Shit.
Wow.
It was pretty funny.
That's
But yeah,
awesome.
you know what? When they put out Ashes of the Wake,
Yeah.
that really, I thought that kind of raised the bar. I'm sure there's some people out there that are like, fuck Lamb of God, but you know what?
Nah,
Fuck
no,
you.
no.
They,
They deserve
definitely
to be
raised the
Lamb of
bar.
God.
And Laid to Rest, honestly, I'd put as one of the that song itself. I mean, is it's a great recording for the American, heavy metal
Yeah.
type movement of the early 2000s.
Yeah, definitely.
Pretty solid. All right, let me grab a beer real quick. Okay, so we're back doing the thing here. I'm just gonna do the occasional pause. Like I said, we're just hanging at this bar, having a couple of drinks here. Just a couple of dudes doing dude stuff. Let's get back to the heavy talk. So, when did you guys start your first band? Did you guys start your first band together, or
No.
you were separate?
No,
Okay.
no.
Wait, let me even say this. Like, how did you guys meet?
All right, I got this one.
Go for it.
So
Because I always like associate you guys together for some reason.
Right.
I don't know what it is, just from like seeing you at shows and like playing shows with you dudes. Like
we hang out a lot.
Yeah.
We're done. Yeah, we're good.
So like I even sent Eric a text today, and I wrote y'all in the text because like I know that you work together, but then at the same time I was thinking like that's fucking lame. Like I should just send Nick the exact same text or his own text. But
It
anyway,
didn't even
okay.
faze me. I was just like,
So-
I was working at the golf down there, like on was it
63 in Valley Forge
the one right
Road.
by North Penn, right there.
Okay, at Valley Forge
North Penn
and
Golf,
and Sumneytown.
Yeah.
North Penn Golf. Okay.
And a mutual
Yeah.
friend of ours, he was working there too, and I was about to quit. And I saw Nick in there one time.
Is this when you guys both had long hair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw Nick in there one time, and he had his big long hair or whatever, and our friend was talking about. He's like, yeah, he plays drums in this death metal band, whatever. And I checked him out. It's Casadum. He's still
Okay.
playing in Casadum, actually.
Wow,
They're
okay.
fucking dope. Check them out. Whoever doesn't know them. And I checked it out, and it was really good. And so like, I don't know how much time passed by from that moment. Like what, 3 months or something?
It was a long time.
And like some random Friday, like I had off from school. I was about to throw a party at my house. My parents were away, and and I was like already kind of like had a good buzz going on. I drove to work to get my paycheck, and Steve, our friend, was working there, and I'm just like, "Yo, man, who's that drummer friend of yours?" And can I get his number? And he's like, "Yeah," but he didn't give me his number. He just called him, and then put the phone up to my head. And it was like Nick on the other line, like, "Hello." Yeah, I'm like, hey, it's Eric. Do you remember me? Like, worked at the golf with Steve and like this and that. Basically, I got to a point where I'm like, you want to jam sometime? And he agreed. So I got his number. We hooked up the jam a little bit later, and it was out of at the same time I was talking to the other guitar player in Pillarsville, Kevin, and we decided at a on prom night that we were going to start a band. Actually,
What year is this?
2008. Yeah, that's when we started.
This is senior year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And our girlfriends were friends at the time, so we were sitting at the same table. We
Are
knew
you
each
there
other.
at this prom?
No, because we're from Thackeray.
Okay.
So
Kevin's from the Thackeray.
Yeah, that's
okay.
how I know him.
All right.
And basically we had known each other, both knew we could play, and we're into similar music. And finally, we're like, all right, because he was in another band before that.
So you guys are looking fly. You got the chicks. You're drinking the
Right,
punch,
right.
and like
It's
that. Just fuck it, man. We're starting this band,
Basically.
And then Eric Clapton and Wonderful Tonight comes on.
Well, it's
and you
like
guys are doing the
I'd
dance
met Nick
thing.
before, then talked to Kevin, then I was like, right, Nick, and that's when it came up, and I was there. So we
Okay.
jammed. I don't think he was impressed. I don't know how I got him to come back.
Yeah, it was a rocky period. Like I don't know why, but I guess I was into it, but I didn't feel like it was meshing at first.
It didn't sound anything like POD sounded like at the time. You know what I mean? It was like
Who's playing bass at the time, or is it just
no
the
one.
three of you guys?
No one. It was what was going on was
It was just like a basement jam.
yeah. Like I was jamming with Nick, and then I go jam with Kevin. I would jam with Nick, then I jam with Kevin until like there was enough material that we all jammed, and then
Who's writing the majority of the shit?
well, I'd say it was pretty even. You know,
Okay.
me and Kevin essentially were writing all the riffs, and then what happened in Pillars would be like Kevin and I would sit down and write riffs, and then
Are you ever bringing riffs? Like
no, he's
fucking drum riffs?
he's got the best job. It's quality control. It's us bringing what we think is a song to him, and then
Yeah,
he's being
okay, I
like,
can
no,
do that. It's kind of
making it an
arranging.
actually
Yeah.
a good song, with all the riffs that we have.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's like a factory line. You got this riff and quality control.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Okay, I can dig that. So when does like Pillars start to take shape? I mean, you guys, it's just the three guys jamming for how long are you guys jamming in a
We
basement
jammed
before you
up
start
until-
like
Did we get Dylan
filling into
before-
pieces here?
Did we get Dylan before or after?
Who's
the new
Dylan?
year? Dylan was the first, our friend who's the first vocalist in Pillars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dylan Gilbert. He plays guitar in Sacred Serenity now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, did we get him
We
in
got
2009 or 2008? Because I think it was like December-y. I can't remember. It was definitely winter.
I think it was 2009.
2009? That
How
might have
are
been
you
when we
finding
told him
these
he was in it.
people? Is it just word of mouth?
That
or-
was,
Dylan
the
was one of
singer
my
from his first band.
Dylan was one of my best friends.
Was he singing in your first band?
He played guitar. He was a late guitar player for my first band, and then singer guitar player for my second band. And we were just super close at the time. And I asked him actually as a joke. I'm like, "Hey, dude, you want to like sing or something for like a band?" And he's like, "Yeah, dude." And I didn't think he would actually show up, but he did, and he came to
did good.
rehearsal.
Let's
Really well.
backtrack for a second here. Okay, so you knew this dude from other bands. So like, how many bands were you guys in prior to starting POV?
I jammed with people. I was never really in a
You
band.
did Pelvic Fury.
Well, Pelvic Fury.
Am I saying that
here's
right?
Here's what happened with that was Pillars of Villainy. The idea it's Pelvic Fury. Yeah, the idea of POV got started, and then in the midst of that, before it was really a thing yet,
Yes.
like I was just it was just like the three of us informally jamming still. I got an opportunity to join that band. Like they needed a new guitar player, and I messaged them like I want to do this. 'Cause they went to my high school.
Yeah.
And they were not way older than me. They were older than me at the time. And we all kind of like looked
Is
up to
this
them.
your first, like, what you would consider your first serious band? We're gonna go out and play shows and like.
Well, they taught me a lot. They taught me how to be in a band, like essentially, and what that's like.
Yeah.
While Pillars was still getting like going,
Okay.
because like, it wasn't too long after I joined Pelvic Fury that Pillars got going. So I was
Yeah.
kind of doing both. But yeah, they taught me a lot. They were awesome dudes to work with. They had like, how old were they? They must have been like 23 when I joined.
25, I would
25.
So
No way.
you're at this time like
joined when I was,
are you
like,
juggling
19.
stuff on this? Well, you have Cosm.
Casadum.
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, they were actually friends of Pelvic Fury. They interchangeable.
And he helped me
members.
get into Pelvic Fury.
But you were also you started like doing like pop punk and shit. You said.
No. I was doing Casadum like full time at that.
But I
moment.
mean, like prior, like when you were first getting into bands and whatnot.
No,
like,
I was doing like experimental rock stuff. That was like my first band with like.
Are you playing shows at that time?
No,
like, when
never.
are you guys playing? Like, when are you playing your first show?
I guess my first show was my second band, technically.
Is this the Third Walnut thing?
That would
out
be
with Rough House.
Yeah,
that's
Rough
so
House, yeah.
fucking gnarly, dude. Shout out to Rough House and
Yeah,
Tease.
yeah.
Please reunite so that I can play a show with you. I would be if Epic Titties could play a show with Rough House.
That would be
insane.
awesome.
It would be pretty awesome.
Really, really,
so
really
when are you like playing out for the first time here? Like real, like
Yeah, like the real experience. Man, what was my
did Pelvic
first show?
Fury play out, or was Pelvic
Yeah.
Fury like limited to
yeah.
garages and
No,
basements?
Pelvic Fury played out
Fury
a lot,
was
man.
all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like they're getting at it for a while. Like,
I remember seeing their
Getting
name on
it.
like
They
flyers.
gotta
were,
get that
yeah.
Pelvic
Well,
all the time.
here's what happened. Like when my freshman year in high school, I was in an art class, and their guitar player, this dude Matt, was just like the guy. He was the guitar player, dude. You know what I mean? He's that shredder dude that everyone's like, dude, Matt, like him. And he was sitting next to me in the class.
Yo, did you hear this Michelangelo Batio shit?
Yeah, that shit, dude. Like, which is rad. Yeah, I was totally into it, and so I was like, just like, oh
Dude,
my God.
you
Like,
are
he was
awesome.
like, yeah, he was just like, oh my god.
I love Marty Friedman. I love
Yeah,
Yay.
yeah.
I
Right,
love.
So I remember hearing them on like a local shot on like MMR or whatever. Or who did local shots? Was that YSP or MMR?
Back in the day, dude, they were doing the Loud and Local with
Loud
Tommy
Local,
Conwell.
Yeah,
my
it was
guy.
on that.
on
They were on that. It was
Sundays on
Reparations.
YSP.
And I thought they were awesome. And then I saw them, went to see Kevin's old band before POV. They
Adele?
were on the
Adele?
show. Adele, yeah.
Adele.
Adele.
They were on.
like
they were
the
called
singer.
Adele. It was spelled.
It was before the
It
thing.
was before the singer. Yeah. Was it spelled different? I think it was spelled different.
Yeah, it's like one
L.
letter off.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
And they were good. They were a pretty good band. And I ended up seeing them that night, and it was just like, it was awesome, man. So when I got a chance to join them, I just like had to do it. It was like a personal event for me. Where I was
How
like,
long
I
did you
made
do
it.
that for?
How long was that in that band?
A year?
Yeah, it was like a year and a half or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Did you eventually were you
Unfortunately,
like, I'm
what-
doing the POV
No,
thing,
what
I'm
happened was they had already been a band for like 10 years. And it was cool to join, and I joined, and then they changed the name to Lucid Wake. And
like, Lucid Wake?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, I wrote some songs, and we recorded them. Like, we all had written some songs. But it was
Yeah,
finally,
yeah.
like, my influence kind of getting in.
Yeah.
And then, I think they wanted to disband at a certain point. Yeah, they did it for like 10 years. I'm just trying to move on, and You know,
So at this time, is this when like you guys started?
that's
getting a
when
little bit more
I
serious?
was like, all right, well, because at that point, Pillars had gotten fairly established.
So you get Dylan
Keep
in the
going.
band.
Dylan was in while like there were times where like Sodom, Pelvic Fury, and Pillars were playing the same house show. It's actually your birthday.
Yeah, my birthday
At our
show.
bass player in POV, Steve. Well,
Was that dude always in the band with you, Steve?
on bass.
Yeah,
POV?
Steve, from the get-go.
Yeah.
Is
He was
he the
he's an
last
OG
dude
member.
that you found?
No, Dylan was last.
No, he
Still-
came in a package deal with Kevin.
Yeah, they were like bros. They were in a... No,
They were in Of Masks and Martyrs. Was
Yeah.
the name of their band.
Okay.
They played out a little bit.
So where are you're from Methacton, where you went to Methacton, but you live
Yeah,
basically
in
like,
Lansdale. I
In
do live in
Lansdale. You're a North Penn dude. I
I'm
mean,
on the wrong side of the road.
like when is it registering that there is a local scene? I mean, do you know anything that there's a local scene in town, bands or anything? I mean, you being from North Penn, I
Yeah.
know that like
Nah,
the Wonder
I
Years
was-
that hit at that time.
There was a more prominent local scene when I was more in like middle school,
I was going to
early
say
high school.
that's when it was really going down.
And like there wasn't really any metal thing. I mean, War Torn Life, if I can name drop.
Barricade,
Barricade, all those bands.
Leavenworth,
Leavenworth,
Inane,
Minor Times.
CDC,
Yeah.
the Minor Times.
They
We
were
can keep
all
going if
they
we
were
need
all
to.
doing it, and that really wasn't around when I was like in high school. Kind of like dipped out for a hot minute, and it was kind of a shame. But like at the same time, I understand people doing other things, whatever. But like when we started, when POV started playing shows, that really didn't start up again. Like the local shows, as far as like
So when did you guys actually like get out of the garage or the basement, whatever, and like POV is going to start doing shows?
Really, it was like, let's see.
This is like
I mean,
08, 09.
We'd caught a couple with Dylan as our front man. It's weird that I got Mark members like as the era. Like,
That's
it's
cool.
the way you have to think about
yeah,
it.
there's definitely.
Because we went through a lot of lineup changes,
Definitely.
and
Where are you doing shows at?
I started off as a house.
it was a lot of house shows,
House
a lot
shows,
of keggers,
basements.
just like raging parties that were fun,
Yeah.
and always a good time. And then, see, what was like the first real show that we had going on? I'm trying to remember.
It was that Bloodhound Gang.
Oh my
that,
god! It
Jimmy
was at
Pop.
something called Clayton Fest,
Clayton
which
Fest.
was Waxhaw Fest with a different name. If anyone's ever heard of that,
I've actually heard of it.
It's this
I
guy-
feel like I went there in 2008. I was working at
That's when we
Hatboro,
would've
and I
played
want
it.
to say I went to Waxel Fest, and Evil Jared and Bloodfart played.
they didn't play that night. Well, it was the same. It was the same
gotta
guy
be the
running
same
it.
joint.
No,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
the
definitely,
same.
definitely.
Yeah,
It's like
it was the same.
Bloodhound
I know for a fact it
affiliated.
was the same guy running it. But it was like he changed the name of it to Clayton Fest. I don't know what the relationship was.
Clayton!
Yeah, it was some relationship to him. It was like kind of a fundraiser thing. We couldn't even drink yet. We are getting like hassled by the guy getting in there because they're serious about like IDing.
Yeah, they
people.
ran it pretty well.
They
as far
ran
as
it
I'm
smoothly,
concerned,
but-
yeah.
You know, it was I think our first like real show out of like a house, but it was still a fucking
Yeah, it was
kegger
still-
and
it was still a
lawn.
party,
You know what I
like,
mean? It's
no
still a
doubt.
party.
Did everybody in the band have long hair? I know you had like the Mike Borden thing going
Well,
on.
let's see. Steve had some long hair. Dylan had long hair at one point.
It wasn't really like we had.
We had long-
You guys
the
were holding it
luscious
down
locks.
because
We had, like, the
nobody
long
wants
hair.
to hold it down anymore with the locks.
Yeah, man, it's just the way to go back then.
I'll tell you, it's a little easier, but I only miss it when I'm playing.
Yeah, I can
I
see
don't.
that. I don't know.
I'm completely opposite. Completely opposite.
I only miss it when I'm playing. It was funny when I cut it the first show that we played. It was the Polish Club show. It was when Dan Katz was our vocalist at the time.
Danny
who
Katz.
came in after Dylan. He did.
Okay.
Another great job. We were playing that show, and my brother was at the show. He's making fun of me because I kept trying to like circle headbang and shit. And I had like a mop top haircut. It wasn't like short or long.
Is he
It was, like-
loyal? Is he loyal to the main? Is he like you're a pussy?
No. My brother just goes. He comes to all my shows and everything. So like, he just like had noted that like I'm trying to do all these like rock out moves when I'm playing. And it's just like not working.
When you guys decided to cut your hair, were you like, "That's it?
Let's
I'm,
do it together,
I'm taking
pinky
it.
swear."
I'm taking no. Like I'm going. You weren't gonna just like trim it a little bit. You were just like, "Fuck it."
he went 0 to 60 with that.
Yeah, I went balls to the wall.
Yeah.
There was a girl involved, and just
Wow.
yeah, I'm gonna put that out there. She's gonna hate that I said that, but yeah, there was a girl involved, and I like short hair better than long hair.
When I was doing Justice, our guitar player had long hair, and he spent so much time growing it out, and I was like real proud of him. I'm like, "Yo, dude, that's a fucking good job, man. Like, you look badass, right?" And then he fucking cut it, and I was just like, dude, like, what happened to long hair, you, man?
Dude, I'll tell you right now, you notice when you cut it, man, like, all right, so when you got the long hair, like, girls talk to you, they don't talk about your hair. They're like, oh, I like your hair, this and that, right? You cut it, and then after thinking for all that time, like, oh, you like my hair, whatever, they're like, oh, my God, I like you so much better with short hair. You're like, what the hell? Like, what is this about? You know, but, yeah, short hair works.
That's
better,
cool.
man.
That's good. That's good.
So yeah, we got out playing a little bit with Dylan. Still doing a lot of parties. I think one of the best, I'd say the highlight with Dylan was definitely that YMCA show.
Oh yeah, the Lansdale Music Fest.
Which, funny enough, Matthew Hittinger from Mexico.
Was he at that show?
He was at that show. We have it on film.
And he did
Is this the show that Wrong Answer and Agitator?
Yeah.
were
Wrong
gonna play?
Answer dropped. Agitator
Yeah,
played.
Agitator
I'm sure.
played.
Yes. Agitator played, and Matt Hittinger, Mexico. He did a grab the mic, and we used to cover "Bastard Set of Dreams" by Dead to Fall, and he.
Oh, that dude loves Dead to Fall.
Yeah.
No, he
Don't you,
loves Dead to
son?
Fall. We all love Dead to Fall.
I love Dead to Fall.
Cool.
But yeah, he was there, and that was actually really cool. We have it on film, and it's probably one of my favorite shows that we've ever played. I must say myself.
Did you guys play Trash Mountain at that show?
No, I think we had cut it at that time, didn't we?
I don't remember.
I think we had cut it. We ended up cutting at some point. We had like the original 4 songs.
How many songs does that band actually have?
We made it up to 15 with
Okay.
some spare riffs.
Okay.
See, we always called the songs by number instead of their song names.
Yeah,
And like, especially when it overlaps, like whose vocals were on what song, you know? It gets weird because then I stopped, like, what was it? Fog of War?
Yeah,
which
Fog of War
later
changed
became, track 7, I was call it. It was about, it's about the movie. What did Dan write that about, man?
Event Horizon.
Yeah, what the hell was that song? He wrote
Great
it.
movie.
Yeah, he wrote it about that movie.
The name escapes me, man.
Damn.
The
Dan's
name
gonna
escapes
be Dan's gonna be upset.
Yeah, he probably won't care because he knew.
He knew it was always gonna be 7 to us.
So
we always just called it 7.
let me ask this: why do you said that you've had a lot of there was a lot of member changes in that band? What was the deal with that?
Well, we had a lot of we had a lot of problems with like getting them right vocalists, I think.
Yeah.
And
Did you guys have an idea of like what you were looking for?
I think everyone that we had did what we were looking for.
Definitely,
Vocally.
definitely.
Like
Okay.
vocally they did it. There's some commitment issues with Dylan, the first guy. I wouldn't call it commitment issues. I'd say, it wasn't working out. There was enough effort.
Yeah.
I'm sure he could do a great job now, but at the time,
Yeah.
we were a lot younger. It was just, we had to move on. And
What was your goal when you're there and the band's first getting started? I mean, at the time, you guys aren't really aware of, or are you aware of the other shit that's going on in town or around?
well, that's what we
there?
wanted.
I
we
mean,
aspired to get to be a part of, but it was we had
definitely.
kind of thought that we had to build our way up to that.
Did you know that was going on?
Through Nick, because like I said, I didn't really know much about the scene. Coming into it.
What did you know that was going on at that time? Anything? Did you was there any
As far as metal goes, there was really
anything
nothing.
just local shows?
Well,
Period.
yeah,
I mean,
there was sparse local shows at the time that players were getting getting their feet.
how did you end up at a place like 252 Underground?
That
That one was
Eric.
me.
Yeah.
So
If anybody doesn't know what that is, there was a place on Main Street in Lansdale that was a youth ministry that this dude Bob hooked up, and it was actually a pretty badass place to do shows at. This dude built the stage. It was a really cool spot. I know LMI would do shows there, and I think Permanent Inability was the name of the band. I think that's Will and Ryan from Forerunner or Jennyverse, their band. I know Rough Justice obviously did shows there, but yeah. I think that's where I heard about you guys the first time was from doing shows at that place.
I was at the time teaching guitar lessons at Georgia Music in North Wales, and I had a lot of students that were hanging out there. They were younger kids in high school and all into metal and whatnot.
Yeah, those kids were all into metal.
Yeah,
which
it
was
cool.
cool.
It was cool,
definitely.
and I was giving guitar lessons, and I kept seeing, like on my drive to work, I would be like stopped at the light there. And I'd look over.
Join the revolution.
I kept looking over at it, and it always had like a drum kit
Right?
in the window, and I was
Yeah.
like, and then like sometimes I'm driving by to go hang out with Nick or something, go to the bar, go get a drink later, and I see all these kids like standing outside, and I heard like a band playing one time, so I asked one of my students. I said, "What's going on in there? Can you just like play shows?" Basically, gave me the guys' information. So I booked this show, and I thought it'd be really cool to have like the band that some of the students were in play the show.
Yeah.
And then I'll play and have another friend of my band, like a friend of ours, come play. That's what we did, and it was all right. It got weird when shut the door. He wouldn't let anyone else in anymore. It was like a 40 person capacity or something,
Fire
and there were like
code or
easily
whatever.
over 100 people at that show.
Yeah, that happened when we played. We
like a little-
were
it was a little
playing
weird.
the one time, and you know what? I was apprehensive about playing there at first, but goddamn, I wish I would have promoted it a little bit more, because the 2 or 3 times that we played there, those kids fucking ate it up. And I know the one time, like, there was this little kid swinging a chair around in the pit.
That is
It
so
was
rad.
wild, dude. My brother like did like the big stage dive. He like orchestrated the huge stage dive. Like, bring everybody in here. Launched himself. It was a quality place, man.
Yeah, it was cool. I thought it
So
was pretty successful. We sold a shit ton of T-shirts that night.
Oh yeah.
We had
yeah,
like
you guys
just
did
gotten
really
our
good
merch.
with the merch. I've told you that the last couple times we've hung
We
out.
just
but
got the merch, and we like nearly sold like half of it. Like that.
Yeah,
night.
that was pretty
insane.
dope.
that see, I swear I heard the because I was doing shows at that time, and I had just like started to kick it in the last 2009. I started doing the shows again at the VFW and whatnot, and like started Justice at the end of
Right.
that year. And then, was really just making it a point to find out, really be a generalist about every band that was out there in the area, to know just a little bit about everybody, just so I knew what was going on. If I was going to do a show, I'd get the right bands and whatnot. And I swear that I heard about POV at 252, but then I saw all the stickers, which I've told you, and then our friend Sophia was like, yeah, this dude Eric has this band POV, but I was probably all like,
Sure,
oh yeah,
cool.
okay,
Yeah,
I gotta
a
check it
band,
out.
right? Yeah.
No, but yeah, and then what really brought it full circle is when Mexico joined the band.
Right. Yeah. Well,
So-
that's when a lot of doors open for sure.
Well, that dude's
He carries a lot of clout, so like.
yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
No doubt.
No, he got us on a lot of fucking awesome shows. He got us hooked up with a lot of fucking cool people that could help us out.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
a lot of
man.
people knew him. I mean, we were coming out of nowhere. We were coming out of the shadows, not out of nowhere, but we didn't have anybody that knew everyone.
Yeah, totally.
What was the first show that we played for you? That VFW show.
What show was that?
It was us,
Breaks.
That show was
Breaks,
badass.
60s.
Breaks.
Dude, that was
Um,
the fucking Breaks second show.
Yeah.
That was your first show at the VFW. That was the first show that I think most of the people that were there had ever seen you guys. Liberal fuck
It's
machine.
cool that we got a mosh out of there for no one knowing us.
Carved up.
Yeah, carved up.
Carved Up played that.
was
fucking cool.
awesome.
Why did
They
that
were.
play that?
No.
That
No,
was another
no,
show. Yeah, that was
um,
another show.
Who the fuck was that? I should know. A Hall Alarm.
Oh,
No, of course.
And then
Right.
fucking Wives, dude. That was
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, that was
that,
such a
I
good show.
apparently threw a glow stick into Evan Sanders' eye that night, or either that or he got glow stick gel in his eye
man.
that night. One or the other.
Happens to the best of us.
That was a fucking great show, though. You know
My
what?
parents came to see that show. My mom, within the first 5 seconds of POV set, had a glass of wine, just spilled right down her because somebody bumped into her mosh.
I remember that.
Just that was this is what he does. This is what he does all the time.
You know what was crazy about that? It was when I first started really trying to push the shows in town again, and got that shit, just. I think I had all these people that I had gone to shows with over the years that I knew, and every time I see them, if I didn't see them at shows, but if I saw them out, I would talk to them about shows and shit. And whenever I'd see Mexico, I would always be talking about yo, I'm doing these shows again. You need to come to the shows, you know what I mean? Because coming to the shows in town,
It's rule number one.
it's like
if you
fucking
wanna play
Cheers,
shows in
man.
town.
It's Cheers. It's where everybody knows your name. It should be the place, even if you're not down with all the bands that are playing, okay? And I know that this isn't how it is, but in my mind, this is how it should be. You're just going to fucking chill and whatever, hang out. Yeah, it's a respect thing or whatever. Like, you're making, it's like, that's your fucking spot.
Sure.
You play there too. We're fucking hang out, see what's going on. And dude, when that dude started coming back around again, it was pretty fucking cool because, like you said, you know, he carried some fucking clout. You know what I mean? Everybody loves Mexico. I don't think I've ever met anybody that doesn't like that fucking dude.
Yeah.
And to get him fucking back doing those shows again when we did that fucking show, that shit was fucking awesome. You guys lit that shit up too.
It was funny when
That was the first show we did on the stage.
yeah,
Too in fucking.
Did we? No, I thought we
forever.
played on the floor.
No, well,
I
We
was on the
played-
stage.
I
we played on
mean,
the
but
floor.
we.
But yeah,
we-
you used the
we
stage that way,
used the
yeah.
stage,
Yeah.
and we hadn't done that
Yeah, it
since
was
like,
weird.
you know.
Well, it's
couple
weird
years.
only because you see it the other way sometimes. But I thought it was successful that way. It was pretty cool.
No, it was great. That show was fucking packed. I mean, it was nice to see everybody. It's always good to have like a nice show where everybody's supporting everybody. People aren't like chilling outside the whole time. You know, somebody else is playing. You know, and that's like, you know, you see that a lot. Like the last couple of years, I've been doing shows. You know, like it is what it is. It's not that you want to accept it, but it just seems like it is what it is. And you don't always want to bitch about it, but it does fucking suck that like you have certain cliques, whether it's
Yeah.
like people that like a certain kind of music or people that are just like friends with certain people,
Yeah.
and they don't all want to just like check out the bands, be supportive, do that thing. Like it's a
I know
bummer.
we
you
all
know?
do our best to go to a show and stay.
Yeah,
for the whole
I
thing. I
mean,
mean,
there's,
I like to go to
there's
shows, try to
totally
stay as
like
long as
an
I can.
unwritten, you know,
Yeah.
unwritten rules and you know, like a certain etiquette that should be applied there.
Sure.
You know, but I mean, shit's gonna happen. I mean, we've had a lot of shows in town the last couple of years. I mean, you
It is a
can't.
little weak sometimes though when you got like 80 or more people at the door, but for some reason every band's playing like 20 people.
Dude, I'll tell you
Because
what.
everybody keeps like
I'll tell
shuffling
you
in
what.
and out or moving around. It's like
I did-
just stay.
I did that LMF Fest
right yeah.
in August.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That would be, I guess, a similar example during the
this
day
is
parts,
this is a
but
total.
by the night.
This is a
that shit's
like
packed.
like doing that show was like the eye opener that I had seen it before, but like I didn't want to see it, and then I went and I hung out there all day
Yeah.
and like watched every band, and every band would play, and the people that were watching that band was the next band that was playing, and like the 2 or 3 of their friends that were there to see him. Everybody was all over the place, outside, out, you know, out back, at the bar, whatever. I mean, it was like, I can't blame everybody. You know what I mean? It's like, we're not pointing the finger at anybody. It's just a bummer. It's because it's like, you're out here on the scene and you're doing it and you're fucking grinding, man. You're fucking writing those tunes. You're
Yep.
you're doing the best that you can, you know what I mean? Putting all your fucking energy into it and your ambition. It's like, you know, the least that you can get out of it is when you fucking balls it up and stand up there and play your fucking shit, that there's gonna be people for you to at least fucking like play it too, you know what I mean? I mean, that's how a fucking scene gets started, dude.
Yeah.
You play your fucking tunes to people get into it, and like somehow that brings them into the scene, into whatever, whether they're doing a zine or a blog or fucking writing songs or doing art, you know what I mean, or fucking printing merch or whatever, you know.
Let's see. I mean, I guess that's a double-edged sword about that place, though. It's like,
I don't want to focus on like that place in
Yeah.
particular. You know what I'm saying?
well,
like I'm not.
I'll put it like this: most all ages shows anyway.
If we're gonna talk about Lansdale,
It's like
that's why it's good at the VFW, because you know, at number one, it's the best room in town. I'm not gonna make, you know, it really is in terms of you have the low ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a great place for people to dance, and no matter where you're at in the place, you can see the band. The bar's right there. You know, if you go outside to get some air, the band starts playing, you hear them playing. If you're at a place like LMF, it's a room inside a hall. You can't hear the band start playing if you're out front, out back, whatever. You know what I mean? Like every venue is going
Right.
to have those little quirks.
yeah.
But you know, in terms of our town, I mean, that's definitely the spot, man. 805 West 2nd Street. I know that because I put it on a lot of flyers.
Had a lot of good times.
Yeah, you
place.
guys have played some fucking killer shows there. We got to get.
We played there.
Speaking of which, we'll segue into Commonwealth is scheduled to
Oh,
play
right.
there on January the 4th.
4th.
I believe that's a
Yes.
Saturday. Is that a Friday
It's
or
Friday.
Saturday?
I don't know.
And
You-
I
you
believe
check, I'll
I
keep
believe
talking.
that show is headlined by Postseason.
Right.
with
Yeah, they're gonna be on tour.
Commonwealth, Grayson, Try Hard Charlie,
Right,
and
yeah.
TBA, and it I think it's going to end up being a benefit for Men on Main Street.
I saw that, yeah.
And 215 Booking is doing that. So it's Justin and Tyler.
Brand Cannon Suit, you get a discount on your ticket.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's like $7 or
I don't know all
$7.
the
It's a
specifics of it.
It's a Saturday.
It's actually been a while since we've done a show at the VFW. I mean, I think the last show that was there was that CDC show
that
in
was
September.
the last one I saw.
Which was, and that's actually where we had all like talked about doing the Epic Titty
Epic
things
Titties,
because
yeah.
we have like hooked up the last like 2 months fucking rocking. You know, like I was, doing my thing. You guys have seen me in action at the VFW doing my thing over there. And I was like, you know what? I'm not. I mean, obviously, hey, look. If you look at the last like couple of years of me playing music, like nobody's gonna stop me from getting in front of an audience. Like whether I got to sing and play drums, or sing, or get somebody else to play guitar, or whatever. Like I've done it
on stage,
or just jump up on stage. Like I'm not gonna be like, I'm not above asking people to play with the band, and. Like I saw the young guns in town. I saw the Gunners, and
that's
I was
what we
like,
go by the way.
and I was like, I need the young
we
guns.
got T-shirts that say that.
I was like, dude, you know what I mean? Like I gotta get the guns in the band so that we can fucking rock this shit. And it's funny because like you guys are a little bit younger, but we somehow like fucking pulled all the covers off.
Not everybody, man. I grew up listening to a lot of
not everybody digs like going in and playing that shit.
Dude, I'll play Rat all day.
Van Halen, Kiss, like that type shit. But like even the fucking Beastie Boys cover that was fucking rock.
That was cool
dope.
too.
Yeah, it was
so like those 3 shows that we played, honestly, I would actually go on record and say that the 3 shows that we've played in the last like fucking month were probably the 3 funnest shows I played all year.
They were raging. They were all fun.
In any of my bands at all,
Yeah, they were awesome.
That Kiss one. Hold on, the Kiss one, first of all, was maybe the most fun I've had in a personal moment.
Really?
Because I was like, I was just like rock star posing. I was like hammered, just like having
shout
fun.
to Tony
with it,
Cadaver for hooking that
shit
up,
was
dude.
fun.
Tribute
And then
Terror.
the one we just did at the Gravel Pike Inn. Man, that was off the
We
wall,
were
dude.
on
that
point.
was fucking.
Stay on
We
point.
played a really tight set and just like.
You know what? Like
killed it, man.
it's funny because when I first started getting my legs under me and was like, I'm gonna play music in front of people because like I need to do that. I was doing a lot of the covers thing. And then I was like, man, I gotta fucking play my own shit, you know what I mean? Like, so I've been doing that for the last couple of years. Now here I am coming back, and like we've done fucking these 3 shows in a fucking month, doing covers and like popping the fucking crowd. It's a good fucking time, and now it's got me thinking like, damn, I gotta fucking throw some covers in there because I don't know what that is. Like,
I'll say it was awesome. Definitely playing that show, and when you look up and like. Almost everyone in the room is singing the words that you're playing back to you.
Yeah, Panama.
That shit was
killing
fucking
it.
awesome.
Yeah,
there's no better feeling than just knowing like most of the people in the room are into what you're doing.
Yeah. It was the first for me at least. I mean, I can only speak for myself. But.
And you see it sometimes. It's just like it's always cool.
Yeah, well, I've never really played covers before. But
when you were there when Punk Truck was playing.
Oh, Punk Truck fucking killed it.
Everyone
dude.
in the room was singing with him.
Punk Truck,
that was
like,
fucking amazing.
I felt like people were gonna kill themselves on that floor, though. Dude, like seriously, I'm just gonna put this out there.
Are all the pretty ladies dancing and shit?
We're doing the fucking show, okay? And like, there's this wooden floor. This is at the Gravel Pike Inn. Like the last couple years I've done the show there, there's a fucking rug. So there's a wooden floor, and somehow during the 4th or 5th song, I fucking slip. I'm wearing my Chucks. I got no traction on the bottom. There's no tread. I fucking fall, and like I fall into Schwank from ejection, and like he's pouring beer on him. I guess I knocked his beer on him, but then he's pouring beer on me. I'm trying to get up, but I can't get up because my legs are like I'm struggling to get up, and Mexico and him are just standing there. I'm like, what the fuck? But I listened back to the recording. I'm pretty sure I was still nailing all the parts.
I know it was definitely during like one of the trickier guitar parts. Something I saw you go down. I thought I was like making eye contact with you, like I wish I could help.
Yeah, it was kind of a bummer. That was kind of a bummer, but just in the fact that like the sense like you don't want to be an old dude playing rock and roll and sustaining like rock injuries when you got to do like work and the home body thing, your son, everything.
Especially when the reason's easiest. Well, I slipped.
Yeah, it's like I was singing Silverchair and I took like the hard way bump on my tailbone. No, but that show definitely fucking rocked. And we definitely got to fucking do something in the future here. Maybe get Punk Truck again. It's funny. It's like you got all these bands that are like forming now out of, you know, I mean, you had Punk Truck's got what? Animal House, Stoked and Being Pumped, Run For It, like dudes from all those bands. All those bands are like done for the most part now, and everybody's just back rocking with each other, playing fucking covers, man. We're getting fucking old. Whatever, but you know, you just fucking rock hard. So to bring it back around, what is Commonwealth going to be doing in the next, I don't know what, 6 months? What are you guys trying to do? You said you're trying to do the tour thing. There was whispers of video or something?
Yeah, we're going to have a video shoot December 14th at Panico's. We'll be playing.
Oh, it's a show that I'm putting on.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're going to have our
Wives, Grayson, Panico's.
Yeah. We're going to have our friend Sam. That Bobby was radio host with this guy Sam Krebs at Westchester. They have their own show. And I don't know what he's doing now. I think he's out by Pittsburgh Way doing some kind of country thing, but apparently he can film really well, so he's going to come out and
that motherfucker can shoot.
Yeah, hopefully.
He did a placeholder video.
Yeah, he did a placeholder video. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
No.
They got some steam going. Yeah, it's cool. They're like they're a younger band, and they got their name out there. He did a really nice video of them playing a show, and we try and get him. So it should be cool.
Definitely.
So that little tour action. You guys said you're working on some new jams.
You got the new jams.
Yeah, I'm really stoked to play
that merch
live.
out.
Yeah.
Ideally, want to record again. Obviously, hopefully we get a.
What do we think about another EP?
Well, that's what we got to talk about.
Who's doing the merch here? Cold Cuts.
Yeah,
I hope
Cold
so.
Cuts
is going to be taking care of that for us.
They should be.
Cold Cuts to the POV merch.
No.
Who was that? That was
Progressive Graphics in on Bethlehem Pike in Hatfield.
Oh wow, okay,
Yeah.
Keeping it local.
Yeah, they able to give me a good deal and worked it out. I used to be in the printing industry, so I
he made all the stickers.
Yeah, I made all the stickers
All
by
of them.
hand, all of them.
You should have
I
seen the
printed
stack
them
before we
myself.
started putting them out there. You just had like.
You know the thing that
like-
pulled me in
Listen,
on the stickers was the fucking cheeb leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
They weren't
So
for
I was
everyone,
like,
man.
oh shit! Like you know when you see people that are just ready to fucking glorify shit, you know, like you know, it might push some people away, but it's
It
gonna
did.
really draw in the people that it needs to draw in.
I think the
Reminds me of
reaction
Mark
was
for Death.
neutral.
I don't know if you guys know who Mark for Death is, but
I
all right, man, take it easy.
think it was pretty neutral. There were probably some people put off by it, and then at the same time, there's people that are into it, so balanced out again. I don't know if I'd want to ever do that again.
Nah,
honestly.
probably not.
Well, that was also like the worst sticker to have on stuff because it was like. Hold on. Well, let me go over the spec sheet here.
Yeah.
It was more reflective than a street sign. First of all,
It was like 3M reflective, like
and then it
special
was
material.
like the stickiest adhesive possible.
And when you try-
couldn't pull it off, it chipped off.
Yeah, it was
so if you slap
indestructible.
that shit, if you slap that shit on something, it's there.
Yeah,
like
it
you're out there
never-
like with a razor blade for days.
I remember seeing them around, and like I would just see like spray paint marks over top of it. And people just trying to get rid of it.
Yeah,
Just, like not even
so-
they'd rather have
so
spray
hard to
paint
pull
over
off.
top of it.
I know there's that one on that Wawa post. I don't know if you put it there, but
Yeah.
there's still the remnants of it by that GTR sticker. Is that one by the Turnpike?
Solid.
Cobblesville, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
Those stickers are all over the place.
Yeah,
I think it's from the 252 kids, man. Honestly,
think so.
Somebody put in work. That's cool.
Somebody definitely went.
I
and
will.
put
I
in
will
some work.
admit that we did a little bit of self bombing there. We,
Oh, wow.
we went out some drunken nights and we're just like, fuck
Oh,
this stuff.
you want your
son.
cell phone.
Just start bombing.
Take a
shit.
picture of this shit, man. I can dig it.
Yeah, we did. Me and Bobby and Frank actually from Commonwealth. We used to go out with our buddy Darren, and just like bomb Westchester with those stickers. And it was funny because Casey Homa he called me like 2 months ago. He's like, "Yo, dude," he's like calling me all excited. He's like, "I'm seeing your stickers everywhere around here," and I was just like, "Dude, that's awesome!" Like, and then in my head, I'm like, "I'm such a loser," because those are like me and my friends putting those stickers he's seeing around.
There's
Like,
nothing wrong with fucking promoting yourself,
but, like,
dude. Yeah,
he was
obviously
like
you
calling
wanna
me
be
and saying like,
"Yo,
"Oh, that's awesome."
Who
and
put
I'm
that
like, well, I
sticker
did
up?
it.
But you know, well, that's fucking rock and roll, man.
Yeah, it was fun.
You know,
There's some hard ones, man.
there's a lot of
Darren
people
climbed up
that
pretty high
say
for one,
any publicity is good publicity.
right?
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, did that cause any flack with the straight edge kids?
I never think we had a problem.
I don't even know. I don't know.
I don't think
I'm
anybody
sure-
cared
No,
enough at the
sure.
time. Any straight edge kids that were.
It's just cool that somebody was representing metal in town. I mean, you guys were definitely
Well, the first
Bringing the
EP
metal
was
down.
called Get High Rock Out.
Never forget
Really?
that.
Yeah, wasn't
Four
it?
track, yeah, Get High Rock Out.
The song Euphoric Rise that a lot of people used to know, that was also, we always called it Get High Rock Out. And
Alternative title.
yeah, when we had we were roommates for a while, right by the turnpike, and that's where we used to practice forever. So we had we changed
you guys
the light
had a
bulb.
house.
Yeah,
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 an
we had
apartment.
it was right across the street from Sandwich Mill.
Yes.
So we'd be out there drinking beers, and we're listening to the Wonder Years write their new record, and not even really knowing it, just sitting
Yeah,
there,
at
just
the time, no.
Wonder Years play there, and just all these other bands and shit, and yeah, none of our neighbors cared because they're so used to the Sandwich Mill. It was on that block, Franklin Street, right when you get off.
It's pretty exclusive territory over there. There's been a lot of fucking good bands that came
Yeah.
through that place that recently just went under. But that's wild, man.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
cool.
so many bands have practiced there over the years.
Yeah, we'd always just get together, drink a lot, party a lot,
Get some shorties, get a classic here
see
and
what's
there.
going on, and then play a while. Because I was always coming home at 6, right? I had teach all day, and then I'd get home and everyone's already there, waiting.
Good old
Teaching
days.
over at Georgia.
Yeah.
So you never taught.
Nah,
You should though.
never. I don't think I really have what it takes to teach, but who knows? Maybe
You don't
in
know
the future.
until you do it.
You know what? How did you guys are good. So
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
I mean, is there a natural ability there? I mean, did you guys pick up your instruments and you got it pretty quickly, or was it a lot of work and a lot of time put in to really master it?
I think honestly it's a little bit of both because
You guys have a good feel.
rhythm for sure is definitely
Yeah,
one of those things.
totally.
You got it or you don't. You
Yeah.
either can just be on point or you can't. And if you got it, that's your building blocks.
Yeah.
You either run with it. In my case, rhythm I worked out a little bit. I kind of got it down once I got the flow. And then I was it turned into a bedroom shredder, just sitting on the edge of my bed.
Bed shred.
Yeah, dude. It'd be sometimes it was 6 to 8 hours a day, just sitting there
Eddie Van Halen style.
yeah, that whole deal. And I wouldn't go out during the week. I would just play, or friends want to hang out. I'm yeah, but I got to play for 2 more hours, and then I'll come out. That
Dude,
kind of
this
thing
chick
for-
is putting out 2 handfuls. Can't do it, man.
I'll be there in
I gotta
3
learn.
hours.
I gotta learn this Jason Becker solo.
Pretty much. Yeah. That was it, man. No, but it was cool. I wish I still did that. It'd be a lot of fun. But
Good shit.
I don't know, man. What about you? How'd you get so good, Nick?
I never.
I actually don't know. How did you?
To this day, I'll tell
All
you, I'm not
natural?
that good, but
All natural talent?
I don't know, man. You're a pretty good dude. I've put on a lot of shows. I've been to a lot of shows in town the last couple of years. You're definitely up there as one of the tops.
I think
man.
it's
Means
an
a lot.
drummers in the area.
impeccable feel. I think that
Yeah, you definitely have to have a feel for your instrument. You have to have good rhythm, and yeah, rock and roll.
definitely rock and roll.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, those 2 bands were my first band. I just sat in my room until I had a band. I used to just bitch and moan at all my friends until I had a band too. Just can't wait till I have a band.
Yeah, you know what, dude?
It was
I should have had a
shit.
fucking band so long ago, but I you know what? It's funny. My pop he used to work at DeVoe's when I was a
Okay.
kid.
That's where he took lessons.
That's where I learned how to play drums.
We lived on 3rd Street. He worked at DeVoe's. I'm talking Christmas, 1987. He bought me a guitar, a little baby guitar. I don't even know what it was. I fucking plugged that shit into one of his amps the first night. My dad's been playing forever. My dad, and my uncle.
That's awesome.
My parents have had a band since I've been alive.
That's
Even
awesome.
before then, they've always played out. But I always thought I was gonna grow up and play guitar, but there's so much discipline involved, and you know what? I didn't put the time in. I ended up playing piano for a while, and I got away from it. And I would just always go to shows, and I was always that guy at shows. You know what I mean? It's and I wanted to not be that guy.
Play the shows.
Yeah, it was I need to play these shows because you know what? If I get older, and I didn't do any of this,
Right.
that's just it's such a fucking waste because life is, you get one fucking shot. So, dude, to fucking figure out playing drums, man, I was man, I gotta fucking play something, dude. And I just fucking taught myself how to fucking do it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is definitely learning.
You guys teach yourself?
No, I had. Well, actually, I got a weird position on this one. I'll let you go first, and then I'll describe what I think.
Like I said, I took lessons at the Bows, and it was a couple of years. I'm going to say maybe 3 or 4 years, and then actually I stopped taking lessons when I asked him to teach me double bass, and he was like, "Yeah, I can teach you double bass." And I feel like he wasn't like, he was really traditional, old school like drummer. So like
2 different pedals. They have like 2.
no, it was a double pedal, but like
Check this
I'd
out.
be like playing it, and it's just like he wasn't showing me what I wanted. I wanted to know like 60, 30-second notes and all that kind of stuff, like really fast, Lamb of God stuff, and he just wasn't showing me it. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna take this under my own.
I'm out of here, brah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this myself. And
Thanks for the memories.
no, really.
See, I had lessons for a long time. I was like very schooled in it. I always had lessons every week. I made sure that it was like my favorite thing in life.
What is the first song that you dudes learned how to play?
I learned how to play. It was a toss-up, man. It was Iron Man. That riff? No, wait. I'll take it back. I tried to learn a Boxcar Racer riff one time before I knew how to
Shout
play
out to
guitar.
Boxcar.
And,
Boxcar Racer?
Yeah.
Never forget.
I bought that album, and then
Oh
my
my
dad had
God.
like a beat-up old guitar with like one string on it. I tried to like jam along to it. I couldn't do it, and
Fucking Tom DeLonge.
yeah.
Fucking hate that guy's vocals. Sorry.
Let's see. Then I learned like Iron Man and like Crazy Train at the same time. I was like, I had a hard
Iron Man and Crazy Train. I mean, you realize that like.
No, there's 2 main riffs, and then like my biggest aspiration at first was like learn the Crazy Train guitar solo, because that was like the first one that blew my fucking mind.
Oh yeah.
And I like did that when I was like 14 or something, and it was just like, oh my god,
Rhodes.
I can't believe I can do it.
You know, God, what was he, fucking 23 when he died?
Dude, I'm so mad. I used to have a Randy Rhoads tribute T-shirt. You've seen him around, I'm sure. And that shit got ripped, like down the back all the way, and I had to let go.
Oh, man, they've been
So
fucking
upset.
hawking those things for years. And I mean, the guy wasn't alive that long. Everything that they fucking sell of him is from the.
Oh,
fucking,
but it was like a
the
personal
little-
thing. I mean, I love that guy. It was awesome.
Well,
Anyway, with the lessons, I always had them, but I always felt like even if you take lessons, everyone teaches themselves. You don't have that guy in front of you all day, all the time. There's a lot of times I'm sitting there and it's just like, I got to make this work for me. Like, he wrote this shit down, but that doesn't mean anything yet.
you just
know
put
what I mean?
on fucking.
Yeah.
Roads or
like,
fucking
yeah, sure.
Eddie or
You gotta
something.
ear train. You gotta like make sure you can cop licks off records and whatever.
Do you do the same thing, like just rocking on the bed or something?
Nah, never really. I'm not gonna lie.
Air drumming, any of that shit?
You gotta do a little bit of it all. I had like a
Yeah.
little regimented series. Like if I practice, for,
I
like,
air drum like a motherfucker. I'll just do this.
Oh, air drumming all the time.
Yeah. Table taps.
Oh, dude,
Can you
I-
stop that? Can you please stop that?
Yeah.
Everybody else in the world that isn't tapping.
No.
Yeah, but I have like
Table
regimented
taps.
things. So if I did like 6 hour practice, it'd be like 2 hours of like some theory shit or like working on whatever he wanted me to.
Dork.
And then like 2 hours of like jamming to records that I had and like trying to learn songs and whatever. And then
Would you like go
2 hours of
out
creating
to
shit, trying to like make
record
my
store, like read about something on the internet, go buy that album?
I was
come
a big
home,
subscriber
like, I'm gonna
to,
fucking master this shit.
I found out a lot of good music through being a huge fan of Guitar World magazine. I used to buy that
yeah.
shit all the time. They'd always have like
Yeah,
cool
everybody
interviews and like the
when the dude would have like their 60 minutes and
Yeah.
they'd have like
Lick of the Weeks, shit like
Lick
that.
of the
that
Weeks.
would keep me going forever. I would just like nail that shit and try and get it.
yo, here's the lick of the week. All right, I think we should wind it down. So what do we have coming up?
We got December 14th, Panicos.
Yep, who's on the bill?
We got Wives,
That's right.
yourself.
Yep.
We got Grayson. We've seen a lot of those guys around.
Yeah, actually, we've played a couple.
Yeah, this is the third one, I think. And I never knew them before. It's like the third show.
Grayson.
We got to talking on that last show, and they're all cool guys.
Great dudes, Sean and Dan and Nick. Sean and Nick were doing the next big thing for a while, and then Nick was doing Scatterbrain after that, and Dan was doing the Stoked on Being Pumped thing for a long time. So that's cool that they're doing their thing. Done those last couple shows with them, so that should be good. And then obviously the Wives, who
Gonna keep it sexy.
we've been kicking it around for. We've been kicking it around for a couple years now. You know what I mean? Try to get a couple shows in here and there, and
Wow, man.
Never played
Watching this.
Panicos.
Well, when did you guys start? When did Wives start?
when did Wives start up? You know what? Me and Nico had always, not always, but like, you know, like when I was trying to like start playing music, you know, I would like want to talk to my friends that played music, but you know, I'm sure some of my friends that play music were like, "Fuck this guy,
Yeah,
like, he doesn't play, you know, he's just fucking whatever." But like, I knew that I could play.
Right.
You know what I mean? I played piano for a long time. I knew everybody was always like, "If you play piano, you can do whatever." So I would be like, "Yo, we should jam." And like, fucking when he was still doing the Minor Times, we jammed at their spot. And funny, we were jamming like fucking like trying to jam the Chain, Fleetwood Mac type shit.
There you go.
And like
Bring
he was
it
trying to
around.
play guitar, and I was trying to play drums. And then fast forward to like when I was doing the Justice thing, and I was getting real fucking motivated, and I had my rehearsal space at my house, and I was like, "Yo, fucking come over, let's finally do this." And he had a fucking riff, and I like, just like you're saying, he had the riff. We talked about it. I was like, let's do this. And, you know, we arranged it. That was Sick Fetish. And then we fucking took a couple months. That was like June 2010. And then we took probably just casually, we jammed like once a month, maybe twice over like the next like 5-6 months. Got 3 songs down. He had another song that we just did like a loop drum beat to. And then we recorded the first EP in March of 2011.
All right.
And then we got the other dudes in the band. We had like a couple dudes that we were like thinking about. We really wanted to have a chick in the band.
Yeah.
It was like, dude, it'd be so sexy to have a fucking girl
I think
in
I've
the
always
band.
thought that too. Any band I've been in, I'll be like, if I could just have a sexy front man, or front woman, whatever
We're
you
like,
call it. Yeah,
yeah, totally.
If I just have a sexy man in front now.
The first
So,
show I
like-
ever played, the
Yeah, you
first
got
show
a
that I
sexy
ever
front
played,
woman, dude. It's
was
like game
a
over.
house
Everyone's
party.
in.
And first show I ever played was a house party at my bud's house up in Pipersville. And he had this fucking friend, and we were just like doing covers, and she did like a Paramore song and fucking a Weezer song.
Right.
And I was like, dude, having a fucking chick up front is where it's at. You know, some macho dudes might be like, yo, fuck that. But like, you know what? You know it's gonna translate across the board. It's like, you know, some girls are gonna feel empowered, and some dudes are gonna be like, "Oh, chick's fucking hot," you know, like type thing. Like so.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't know the Wives. We got those dudes in the band and played a show, Kung Fu Necktie, and then we've played several cool shows. I mean, put out a fucking album, and we'll see what happens. You know,
Sweet.
I'm like, you know, I really, really, really am trying to fucking start a kick-ass rock band, just straight up like fucking rock and roll, like the band around here. Like that's what I wanted from Justice. You know what I mean? Like Justice is like a first attempt to like me and my dudes, like we wanted to be playing shows in front of people. We didn't want to fucking sit back. It's like, dude, I'm old, I'm ambitious. Fuck this. Like let's go play shows. If you don't like it, fuck you. You know what I mean? I would have loved to have more support from my friends, but like you got to be realistic about it. If the tunes aren't speaking to people, you gotta write better tunes, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I want to fucking start a kick-ass fucking rock band. Just, you know, especially like after doing Epic Titties the last couple of weeks, it's just like, dude,
It's rock and roll.
right?
Yes.
You always want to be fucking having the people like just rocking with you.
Definitely.
So anyway, we're gonna keep on fucking rocking. Wrap this fucking thing up. Got Nick and Eric, like I said, from Commonwealth. Check them out. What's the Bandcamp?
Commonwealth Official.
CommonwealthOfficial.bandcamp.com. Find them on fucking Facebook, wherever else they're at. And like I said, show at Panico's on Saturday the 14th. Any other shows in the works? Anything?
We've got what is it called? Velvet Lounge.
Velvet Lounge in DC.
DC.
January
26th.
26th, yes.
Sunday in DC.
Hooking it up. All
Playing,
right.
one
And
more
then,
date is December 20th.
Yeah, the Emerald.
With LMI.
Will
With
Hinkle.
LMI.
LMI, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to LMI and Will Hinkle. Good shit. All right, dudes. Thanks a lot. Let's go drink
Thank
some
you.
beer.